Hi, this is Ms. Fazzone, and this is Algebra 2, Objective 25, Simplifying Radicals. Okay, so let's start with what are the perfect squares? Okay, a perfect square is a number that you can take the square root of, and it's a nice number. So remember a square. So it's all the numbers that what you get when you square everything. So 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4, 2 times 2. 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16. 5 squared is 25. 6 squared is 36. 7 squared is 49. 8 squared is 64. 9 squared is 100. 9 squared is 100. 9 squared is 81. And 10 squared is 100. So all these numbers in the box are perfect squares. These are numbers we know the square root of. Those are the numbers we know the square root of, right? The square root of 1 is 1. The square root of 4 is 2. The square root of 9 is 3. Okay, these are all the things we know. Square root of 36 is 6. Square root of 49. What am I doing? I don't even know. Oh, yeah, 7. Sorry, I have a cold. I'm a little off. 64 is 8. 81 is 9. And 100 is 10. Okay? So perfect squares are numbers that we can take the square root of. Okay? So today what we're going to do is focus on problems that we cannot take the square root of. What could we do? Okay? So simplify, and that's all the directions you're going to get. Simplify the radical. A radical is a square root. Number 1, radical 24. So we don't know the square root of 24. So what we want to do is see, is there a perfect square inside of 24? So we're going to make our multiply chart, not the combined side, just the multiply. What multiplies to 24? 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, and 4 times 6. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to circle anything that is a perfect square. Let me get another color. All right. So, is 1 a perfect square? Yes, I'm going to circle it. Is 24 a perfect square? No. 2? No. 12? No. 3? 8? 4. So if you're having trouble deciding this, we're looking in our boxes. All right, look. Is 1 in the box? Yes. Is 24? No. Is 2? No. So we're circling everything that was in the box. Let me zoom in a little so you can see better. Okay, so we're going to choose the one that has the bigger perfect square. 4 and 6. 4 is the bigger perfect square. So we're going to use that pair of numbers. So we're going to rewrite 24 as 4 times 6. Now, one of the properties of radicals is we're allowed to break this up. So I'm allowed to write this as radical 4 times radical 6. Each one of those numbers can have its own square root. Now, do you know the square root of 4? Yeah, it's 2. So I'm going to write it 2. Do you know the square root of 6? No, it's some disgusting decimal. All right, and so that's your answer. 2 radical 6 is the simplified version of radical 24. All right, let's do another one. Radical 63. So, first step, write down all the numbers that multiply to 63. Mult 63. 1 times 63. Does 2 go into 63? No. 3? Yeah. 3 times 21. 4, 5, 6, 7 times 9. 8, 9. That's it. All right, so circle our perfect squares. We have 1 and 9. Take your time with this. You don't want to lose them. All right, so 9 is the bigger one. So that's the one we're going to use. 7 and 9. So I'm going to rewrite 63 as the square root of 7 times 9. Break it up into its own radical. They each get their own little house. Do you know the square root of 7? No. So we rewrite it. Do you know the square root of 9? Yeah, it's 3. Now, this looks a little weird. We don't really like how this looks. We always want the plain number, the integer, the thing you could take the square root of, to be in front. So the last step, if the number you took the square root of is in the back, move it to the front. Okay? And that's your answer. All right, number 3. Try the next one on your own. Radical 48. Okay? So take a minute, pause the video. So we're multiplying to 48. 1 times 48, 2 times 24, 3 times 16, 4 times 12, 6 times 8. Now, circle every perfect square you see. Literally go through each number. Is this a perfect square? Is 1 a perfect square? Yes. Is 48? No. 2, 24, 3, 16, 4, and now we're done. So which is the biggest of those 3? 16. Be careful with 16. That's the one a lot of students mess up. All right, so I'm rewriting this as 3 times 16. Radical 3, radical 16. Do I know the square root of 3? No. Do I know the square root of 16? 4. And then put the 4 in the